Hello and welcome. I am Annette Reeder from thebiblicalnutritionist.com, and today it's about answering your questions. The questions today are all about how to store food for long term. I love these questions. I think prepping is just one of my favorite hobbies. I just love doing it. I love that confidence of knowing I'm prepared. No matter what comes along, I'm prepared. And to me, that just gives me that Proverbs 31 feeling of I've got this. So we're going to answer your questions today. But before we do, I'd like to share with you at the end of this video, I'm going to be giving away a gift. And it's one of my favorite protein drinks. So please stay tuned to the end to see if you are the one who's going to be given this gift. And second, what if you want to get this gift? How would you enter? So be sure and stay to the end. Now let me answer your questions. Number one, how can we prepare fresh produce for long-term storage? I don't want to, quote, can my produce. This was submitted by Louise. Well, there's basically four options. It kind of depends on the food. The first option is going to be cold storage. Remember, our ancestors, they would have a cellar either in their home or in a nearby hillside. Well, this can still be done today. We personally have a crawl space under our home. We don't have a basement. And we have redone it with new surrounding material. Now, it's not 100% critter proof, but almost. Next, I have a thermometer in the crawl space that registers in my kitchen what is the temperature in the crawl space. And I've tracked it for a full year and it stays in the 50s. So I can store fruits and vegetables, not your fresh greens, but solid foods, apples, beets, winter squash, and other foods in this storage. And it will keep for 3 to 4 months typically. Now, second, we have the dehydrator. Now this is fun since I can't burn it. I love that fact. I can be a good cook and I can also be a distracted cook. And my family knows the sound of the smoke alarm. They get it. So dehydrating is fun, it's economical, and it's simple. The learning curve is how to use the foods once they've dried. That's the hardest part, is like, now what do I do with it? There is a cookbook that I lean on for ideas, and I'll share that with you in the links below. Third is you can freeze dry foods. Now this I haven't done just because of the expense of the freeze dryer. Yet it's very nutritious. It's easy to use, especially later when they are already freeze dried to use. And fourth is ferment. In fact, I have some jars here that are fermenting here at my desk. And I just did some videos on how to ferment. So I've used a fermenting lid. This totally is one way to store your foods. And it's so simple. All you need is salt and some jars, and that's it. If you're saying that you don't like to can, and I totally get that. Yet you can, if you make too much of the fermented foods, you can water bath can them, which is a very safe, you don't have to fear the pressure gauge or anything like that, and it will store them for a long time. So you can ferment any vegetable out of your garden. There is no limit. And you could store it just in the jar for up to 2 to 3 months, and you will be good until next season. Or you could can it, even though you said you don't want to can, but you could can it and it would last pretty much indefinitely. So those are 4 ways that I would recommend. Now we also have, the bonus answer would be, if you have too many greens, we would freeze them and then make a soup out of them. So that's kind of another option too as well. The main thing is, and I'm sure this is what you mean, you don't want to waste anything. I totally get that. So I hope one of these options is a good one for you. Thanks for asking. Now to go along with that last question, I hope you have already discovered my Proverbs 31 Prepper book. It has a lot of answers to these type questions, so I hope you check that out. Question number 2, how do you recommend storing bread? I'd like to avoid plastic and keep it as fresh as possible. This was submitted by Elizabeth. Well, I do use plastic for some storage options, and I fully understand your concerns about plastic. There are chemicals in there. There are carcinogenic chemicals. We need to be careful. But foods such as breads do not absorb the chemicals from the plastics. You could always wrap the bread in an organic paper towel and then place it in a plastic bag, or you could use parchment paper, organic parchment paper, and I have lots of that I use often. Now, plastic bags are a concern if you have a sauce, a cheese, or a a grease or a fat or meat, because these come directly in contact with the plastic and it will leach the chemicals from the plastic into the food. So we totally don't want to do that. Organic parchment paper is always going to be our best source for wrapping our foods. And so that's a really good question. Question number 3. How many meals do I eat per day when I'm doing the Daniel fast? And can I have snacks? This was submitted by Sally. So this is not a rule that I can set for you. This is between you and God. Now the Bible doesn't say, and Jesus ate breakfast, Jesus ate lunch, and Jesus ate dinner. That's man's plan. We can eat 1 meal a day. We can do very well with 1 meal a day. We can eat 2 meals a day and do very well. Some people need 3 meals a day, and as long as we've got some gap in between the meals. Yet to graze all day long, that's emotional eating or boredom or just a habitual eating pattern. The idea is to decide between you and the Lord. Make a plan, write it down, and then follow it. When it is written down, we have reason to note that if we are then unsatisfied with our plan, what's coming on, what's happening? That then becomes emotional eating. And that is a blessing to understand and to identify it. So we give a complete meal plan in the Daniel Fast course. Plus we give a delicious collection of recipes and menus. And it's a very compact course that you can come back to every time you want to do the Daniel Fast. I love what we've done with the Daniel Fast. The recipes are so good. And we've even added more material to make it more user-friendly. So once you own it, you always get all of our updates. And we have more updates coming next year with a new Bible study. Very great value. And even just the recipes are worth the small investment for the Daniel Fast course. Okay, so now it's time for our winner. Kara Doell left a review on Amazon for one of our books, and we appreciate this. So Kara, if you live in the US, you're going to be sent the free gift, which is the GBX protein powder. Oh, I love this protein powder. So you just need to email us at annette@thebiblicalnutritionist.com, and our assistant is going to ask you for the code. The code is QA73. So you have 60 days from us posting this video to contact us. Now this GBX protein powder, it is the creamiest. It's just a delicious flavor that blends with anything you want to add to it. And it really mixes well in your brownies. You could add it in cookies. You can add it in any of your baked goods. If you want to be entered into our giveaways, just leave a review on Amazon or Barnes & Noble for one of my books. But it needs to have your name, because if there's some great reviews out there, but there's no name, so I don't have a name to put with the giveaway. And then we go through the reviews and we draw a name. And if you are in the States, we offer you the GBX protein. For this time, there's going to be other gifts that we give away. If you're not in the States, we'll offer you one of our courses or one of our ebooks. Thank you so much for watching and for joining me here at The Biblical Nutritionist on YouTube. I enjoy answering your questions. It's always my joy and honor to serve you God's recipe for excellent health. And until next time, be sure and hit like, subscribe, and the bell so we can stay connected and I can continue being your personal nutritionist. So if you need a mother in your life, if you need a mother-in-law in your life, you just need a really good friend to help you through this, I want to be that friend. Thanks for watching.